Okay, in the previous discussion, we were talking about how you record a measurement if you're the one making the measurement. And in this discussion, what we're going to look at is if you are looking at data that has been recorded either by you or by someone else, how do you know how many significant figures there are in that piece of data? Okay, so first we're going to look at the rules for counting significant figures. And the thing to remember in this is that when we talk about significant figures, we're talking about numbers in the value that have meaning with respect to the precision of the device used to make the measurement. Okay, that's what it all goes back to, is we're looking to see how precise was the measuring device based on the way that the measurement was recorded. Okay, so in doing this, the first thing and the easiest thing really as far as the rules go is that if there is a non-zero digit in the data value, that is always significant. So for example, in the one we have here, 3,456 grams would contain 4 significant figures. Okay, so now let's look at these examples. 38.15 centimeters would have 4 significant figures. 5.6 feet would have 2 significant figures. 65.6 pounds would have 3 significant figures. And 122.55 meters would have 5 significant figures. Now we're going to look at the rules regarding zeros in the recorded measurement. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is leading zeros. These are zeros that are to the left of non-zero digits in the measurement. And as you can see with this example that we have here, there are 2 zeros, and in looking at them, this first 0 is basically there to accent the decimal point. So this 0 really doesn't have anything to do with the precision of the measuring device, and so we would not consider that to be a significant figure. This 0 here is what we would call a placeholder. And that means that it is there to show the magnitude of the number. It really doesn't have anything to do with the precision of the measuring device. It is just there to show you that this value, this 4 for example, is in the hundredths place of this number as opposed to being in the tenths place. The 0 is there just as a placeholder and therefore is not significant. Okay, so let's look at these examples here. Here we have, again, we have a 0 that is only there as to accentuate the decimal point. Then we have these 2 zeros there that are placeholders, which leaves us with this 8, which is the only significant figure in this measurement. And so this has 1 significant figure. Similarly, this one here, we have accent the decimal point. This one is a placeholder, and so we have 3 significant figures in this value. 0.0042 pounds has 2 significant figures, and 0.000262 milliliters has 3 significant figures. Okay, now let's look at something we call captive zeros. Captive zeros are zeros that are in between significant figures. Okay, so in looking at this, here we have this 0 here is in between two non-zero digits, and we've already said that non-zero digits are significant. So that means that this value, 16.07, which actually should have some sort of unit with it, let's just put grams there, that has 4 significant figures. All right, so let's look at these examples here. This 0 is a captive 0, so it is significant. 50.8 millimeters has 3 significant figures. 2001 has 4 significant figures. This one just accentuates the decimal point, so that means that 0.702 pounds has 3 significant figures. Here, this one is accenting the decimal point. These are placeholders, and so this one, 0.00405 meters, has 3 significant figures. Trailing zeros are zeros that are to the right of non-zero digits. And the thing to remember about trailing zeros are that they are only significant if the number has a decimal point. So for example, here we have 9.300. These two zeros are trailing zeros, and there is a decimal point in this number. These two zeros, their only function is to show that the instrument that was used to record this or to measure this particular measurement could measure out to the thousandths place. So in other words, we would expect whatever was used to take this measurement in meters would have marks for the ones place or meters, would have marks for the tenth place or decimeters, would have marks for the hundredth place or centimeters, and then this right here would be the estimated digit. So this one you would be looking in between marks at 100th of a meter. But in any case, both of these zeros would be significant. They are showing the precision of the instrument, and so there are 4 significant figures in this measurement. On the other hand, here we have 150 meters. Okay, this 0 right here, its only function is as a placeholder to show that the magnitude of this number is 150. There's no decimal point in this measurement, and so only the 1 and the 5 are counted as significant figures.